My name is Jasmine. I'm 27 years old. I come from a simple middle-class family in Texas, a family where we had love, we had strength, we had morals, but we never had leftover money. Growing up, I watched my parents stretch paychecks like rubber bands. Bills, groceries, gas, rent, everything always ate the entire month's income. By the end of every month, the balance was always the same. Zero. Nothing extra. No savings. No cushion. No just-in-case fund. Money was something we survived with, not something we grew. And I remember being a young girl, sitting on the edge of my bed, thinking, I don't want to live my whole life worrying about money. I didn't want fear to follow me like a shadow. I didn't want to feel helpless every time something unexpected happened. I wanted choices. I wanted freedom. I wanted a life where I wasn't constantly calculating whether I could afford peace. That dream, that fire, began inside me early. And it never left. At 18, I made a decision that changed everything. While my friends booked vacations. While they splurged on weekends. While they bought new clothes, new phones, new everything. I got a job. And I saved. Not sometimes. Not when convenient. I saved every dollar I possibly could. I worked weekends. I worked late nights. I said no to dinners, parties, trips, concerts, celebrations. People told me, Jasmine, you're too young to be this serious. You should enjoy life right now. You're missing out. But they didn't understand. I wasn't missing out. I was building my escape. Every sacrifice was a brick in the foundation of the future I wanted. I told myself, one day, this discipline will pay me back. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a financial advisor. I didn't have parents who taught me about investing. All I had was determination and a hunger to learn. So I read. I watched. I studied. Financial newspapers. Market videos. Stock analysis. Fundamentals. Economic trends. Business cycles. Earnings calls. Interviews. I consumed financial content like it was oxygen. I didn't understand everything in the beginning. But I kept going. Because every time I felt tired, overwhelmed, or confused, I reminded myself, I don't want the life I was born into. I want the life I'm willing to build. Then came 2022. I started seeing traders online talking about something. Something big. Something different. Something that made my heart beat faster. Nvidia. A company I had heard of. But never truly studied. Until then. It was trading at $12. People were debating it everywhere. Some said it was undervalued. Some said it was the future. Some said it was risky. But I didn't want opinions. I wanted understanding. So I dove deep. I read the fundamentals. I analyzed revenue growth. I studied the future of AI. I looked at GPU demand. I compared competitors. I watched chart patterns. I replayed historical cycles. Day after day. Night after night. I felt something shifting inside me. For the first time in my life, I didn't just see a stock. I saw an opportunity. And then I looked at my savings. $15,000. All my sacrifices. All those weekends I stayed home. All the moments I told myself not now. All the times I watched my friends enjoy life while I worked. My entire past was staring back at me in the form of a number. If I invested it and lost, years of discipline would disappear. If I didn't invest, nothing in my life would change. My hands shook. My heart raced. I whispered to myself, Jasmine, this is your moment. This is your leap. This is your chance. I took a deep breath. I felt the fear. And I invested, with leverage. Not because I was reckless, but because I believed. I bet on myself. I bet on my research. I bet on my future. When I clicked confirm, I didn't know if I was about to change my life or lose everything I had worked for. But I knew this. I was not going to live small ever again. The market doesn't reward the impatient. The market doesn't reward the emotional. The market rewards the disciplined. I had to learn that the hard way. There were days I doubted myself. Days I checked the charts too often. Days I questioned every decision. But every time fear knocked at my door, I answered with knowledge. I continued learning. I continued watching market trends. I studied the economy, inflation, interest rates, tech growth, everything. I didn't hope I made the right decision. I educated myself to deserve the result. And slowly, quietly, the world started catching up. AI became the future. GPUs became gold. Nvidia began rising. And rising. And rising. I kept watching. I kept learning. I kept believing. Then came that one morning in July 2025 that changed my life. I opened my trading screen with a heartbeat so loud I could hear it in my ears. And I saw it. $160. Nvidia wasn't $12 anymore. The company I believed in had exploded in value. My stomach flipped. My palms got sweaty. My breath got stuck in my chest. This wasn't luck. This wasn't a miracle. This was the return on every sacrifice I made since I was 18. This was the reward for every no I said. This was the payoff for every lonely night I spent studying instead of celebrating. I sold. I booked my profit. I secured my win. My $15,000, my years of discipline, had become over $100,000. I looked at that number, and tears filled my eyes. Not because of the money. Because of what the money represented. It represented my courage. It represented my growth. It represented the young girl who once lived in fear. Standing finally in her power. That day, I didn't just become financially stronger. I became unstoppable. Today, I continue to learn every single day. I study markets. I analyze opportunities. I look for new plays. I read journals. I watch financial content. I prepare myself mentally, emotionally, and financially. Because I don't want one big win. I want a lifetime of financial freedom. I'm not just investing money. I'm investing in the woman I'm becoming. And I know this. My next big opportunity is coming. And this time I'm even more ready. Because now, I'm not the girl who's afraid to lose. I am the woman who knows how to win. If you're reading this, listen to me. Not as a mentor, not as a guru, not as someone who made it. Listen to me as someone who once sat exactly where you are. Your background does not define your future. Your sacrifices will one day become your strength. Your discipline will one day become your freedom. I am Jasmine. I am not special. I wasn't born rich. I wasn't handed opportunities. I created them. Brick by brick. Dollar by dollar. Day by day. And if I can do it, if I can build my future from nothing, so can you. This is not just my story. This is proof. Proof that financial freedom is not a dream. It's a decision.
For more inspiring stories like this, please like the video and subscribe the Rich Trackers channel.